working, Welcome back to the channel, folks, and to another battle report. And as you can see, we're back in Arnhem for this game. The game's finished, the dust is settled, so to speak. But we're back on Arnhem using the Gale Force 9. Let me think, Stalingrad mat, I think that is. Stalingrad on one side, Steppe on the other. So that'll add a nice extra element, I think, of urbanness to the table. So it's myself defending this time with Peter attacking. Remember, Peter defended in the last game using just the D-Day para list because we didn't have the new book. Well, now we can use the frost lists, and I'm going to have to try and defend with just paras against whatever Peter is going to bring. We're using a kind of bespoke mission based on a standard mission, so you'll be able to recognise it in some respects, and in other respects understand, hopefully, why we're changing it up. It's made quite an interesting game, as you'll see. It's quite a long game as well, though, but there's a hell of a lot goes on in this game. In particular, keep your eye out for the high-rise building. It plays quite a significant part in the outcome. There's also, there's a few weird things that we have decided to tackle as we come across them in terms of assaults and such likes. If you've got any thoughts on that yourself, please stick them down in the comments. But anyway, let's go over, have a look at the list's deployment, and then get stuck into the game. Right then, Peter, what have you got in your list?
Well, I've got my usual Volks Grenadier formation.
So these guys are...
They're all... They're reluctant, basically,
right.
And they're all hitting a 3.
Reluctant, aggressive, trained.
Trained, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
So I've got three platoons, 2 with assault rifles and 1 with rifles, and then I've got. Let's just see what I've got here. So I've got the HMG platoon. It's part of the formation. The 12-inch mortars platoon is within the formation, and the 7.5 infantry guns are in formation. In support, I've got 6 10.5.
And are they Volks 10.5?
10.5, yeah, right. Volks 10.5, yeah. And then I've got an observer.
Observer and a half track.
And we've managed to find some broom bars, so I've got 3 broom bars, and I've got 3 Stugs in support. And
are they Volks Stugs?
Volks. No, they are, sorry,
right.
they are not.
Right, so they're here, Stugs.
Yes, so they're careful and they're careful.
Yeah. These guys will be careful, confident, veteran types.
Yeah. I didn't go for the Volks Stugs.
Okay, folks, so that's 90 points. So
90 points.
Going to be having a lucky card as well.
Yes, I'll take that to hit 91. That's good.
Right, okay, there's Peter's list, folks, so we'll go over to have a look at my list off camera. The first game we played with Peter defending was before the book was out, and we just used the D-Day paras. So I'm using the specific frost perimeter paras in this game. I filled up the slots as much as I could in the makeup of the formation to get as large a formation as I could, and it came out at 91 points, and this is how I put it together. So first of all, you've got your HQ, and then you've got 3 frost para platoons. Then to back them up, still within the formation, we've got a section of mortars, which is 3 mortars, and then there's 4 heavy machine guns. Now the anti-tank guns, there is currently only 1 slot for 2 anti-tank guns in the list. So we've decided to give a bit more of a punch, as there's going to be no other formation to bring anti-tank elements to the game. We decided there's going to be 2 sections of 2 anti-tank guns. I should point out that the para platoons and HQ have got a 2+ last stand. Now I thought the other units in the formation were the same, especially the anti-tank guns. I thought, why are you only going to give them 2 if they're not super duper? Turns out they are 3. So I made a mistake during the game, folks. Keep your eye out for it, because it does have an impact. It doesn't change the outcome, but it does have an impact. Next up, and still within the formation, are 4 pack howitzers and a platoon of 8 parajeeps. And then outside the formation, because it's in the same box as the para jeeps, is going to be a 9-man glider pilot unit, and they are going to have 2 Piats added to them. I thought they were going to be submachine guns. I'm sure they were in version 4, but they're not. They're just sort of normal kind of parabases with rifle and Bren guns. So there you go, folks. That's 91 points. Not exactly as you've seen on screen here. That's not everything. That's just my own particular para formation that I'm glad to say I managed to paint for my own collection recently. And Peter will be adding in a couple of elements that I don't have. But there you go, folks. As with the first game, we're playing a variation on the bridgehead mission. You can see from the deployment zones that it's actually quite well suited for the Arnhem scenario, where you have Frost's perimeter around what will be the entrance to the bridge on a dedicated table, not a randomly placed set of terrain. This is specifically for Arnhem, with the Germans closing in around the side. Now we're going to make a few changes. There are minefields, for instance, in this mission, but we're only going to have one, and that will be sitting on to the ramp off the bridge. You know, there weren't minefields all over Arnhem, so we want to have something that is typically historical. They're not exactly historical, folks. The loss of minefields is going to put the paras at a disadvantage defensively, so we are going to change things up a bit. First of all, in terms of the German deployment, it's going to be random, with the exception of any static artillery such as mortars, 10.5 centimetres, those kind of things, but any mobile artillery will be random. And the way we're going to do it is as follows. We are splitting the German deployment into 4 zones. You can see, looking at the screen just now, you have got 2 spurs that stick out towards the halfway line and then straight across the back. So the first spur on the right, from the halfway line down to the back edge of the table, and therefore 8 inches in, that is going to be deployment zone if you roll a 1. And then the next deployment zone is from there up to the halfway line. That will be if you roll a 2. And then from the halfway line up to 8 inches from the edge of the table, that will be a 3. And then a 4 is going to be that final spur from the back edge right up to the halfway line, 8 inches wide. That's a 4. If you get a 5 or a 6, you can choose where you want to place your unit. However, to spice things up, your first roll off a 5 or a 6, that platoon and that platoon only has to come in over the bridge. The reserves for the paras, you can see in the current setup, they come along randomly but along the back edge, and that's not really appropriate in this game because that back edge is going to be the river. If you wanted to play this game with some armoured support for your paras, you could have the reserves coming on over the bridge, which is going to be in the centre of the back edge. But we're playing Frost's perimeter here, which means paras and paras alone. So we'll be rolling random reserves based on the corners as follows. Bottom right is a 1, top right 2, top left 3, bottom left 4, as we're looking at them. 5 or a 6, you can choose where the reserves are going to come on from. As far as the rest of the mission goes, one thing worth pointing out is the ramp to the bridge. There's a road leading up onto the ramp. There is a sheer drop at the far end of the ramp, you know, where it basically becomes a bridge. So if you're not moving up the road, you're going to have to move up the sides. That goes for down as well, actually, the sides of the ramp. And to do so will require a cross check for anything that needs a cross check. Now remember, that could include even like a heavy mortar, guys. If it needs a cross check, check your card. You're going to have to roll that when you are at the bottom edge of the ramp where it contacts the surface. Not at the top edge if you're moving down. The bottom edge is going to be the tricky bit. It's getting started, especially if you've got a vehicle. Getting started up the way or managing not to get stuck on the way down. Everything else, pretty much as you would expect in the mission, with victory conditions being Germans can take an objective at any time, the paras can win from turn 6 onwards if they can force the attackers back more than 8 inches away from any objective. Right folks, we are deployed. So the mission is our kind of variant we're trying to break through, and I've gone through that in the mission description. So just a quick overview of things then. So that is my deployment zone there, and you can see where the 2 objective markers are. They're pretty much as far forward as they can be, and as far out to the sides as they can be. Now, there's a lot of pre-arranged in markers here because of the number of artillery that Peter's brought. We've got here, 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 and here. And in my pre-arranged in is one there and one over there. So Peter's basically just avoiding those spots. So, deployment for myself, for the paras. So on the table we have got an infantry platoon is under the bridge, and we're saying for artillery purposes, if you're under the bridge, anything, your team's got to be sticking out for it to be hit by the artillery. We're just making it up, guys, because there's nothing in the rules to cover that, but it would be difficult. You can imagine some shells maybe exploding and going into the side, but generally speaking, protected, so we're quite happy with that. So I've got an infantry platoon in there, plus my commander. My second in command is here. The mortar platoons are up there. Well, they've got the one minefield, folks, that we're giving them on the bridge, which is kind of historical. Pack howitzers here. One of the 6-pounder sections here, another one here, and a platoon of infantry in ambush. Now, that leaves in reserves my glider platoon, infantry platoon, heavy machine guns and jeeps. So Peter was rolling at random. So for his deployment, just to try and make this a bit more tricky for the defender in the absence of lots of minefields. And the way we were doing it was, if you rolled a 1, it would be in this section here. If it was a 2, it would be like 8 inches in and up to the halfway line. A 3, halfway line up to 8 inches in from the side. And a 4 would be up to the halfway line and in the normal sort of 8-inch band that this mission allows for deployment. So Peter, you rolled a hell of a lot of 1s, didn't you?
Yes.
What have you got over here?
Everything's over here. So I've got 2 assault gun platoons over here, the heavy machine gun platoon, and the HQ is over here as well. Over here there's a rifle platoon, and then my Stugs rolled over there, and my broom bars are coming from. They're coming over the bridge. Forgot
to mention, folks, if you rolled a 5 or a 6, you could choose where they come in, except the first 5 or 6, they're going to have to come in over the bridge. And so there's going to be 3 broom bars appearing on the bridge. I don't know what's going to happen there. As far as the bridge goes, folks, we're saying it's concealment because of the sides and the angle of fire and the wrecks and everything. The wrecks count as terrain for the purposes of movement, give bulletproof cover for infantry, things like that. And also, forgot to mention, static artillery, the attackers got to decide where they're going before they roll at random. Then my reserves, going to roll on a 1, 2, 3 or 4, it will be like, and a 1 will be 16 inches on this edge, a 2 will be 16 inches in this corner, a 3, 16 inches in that corner, and a 4, 16 inches on that edge. A 5 or a 6, I can bring them on any of those points. I won't be bringing them on in the middle, so the corners are potentially a bit vulnerable, so I might get some artillery, but the question is, will I still be alive by then? Because it's delayed reserve, folks. They're not flying on in turn 1. So I think we've covered everything as far as the mission goes. Jammers are going to go first. The broom bars are going to move onto the table because that represents same crossing the bridge and getting into the fight. So Peter, here we go. Let's see what the hell happens in this one.
Whoa.
Sorry, Peter, reserves for me is immediate. I was just thinking they were delayed because it was Peter playing last time and his reserves are always late to the party. So it's immediate reserve for me. So we'll see if that actually means anything. But Germans are going first, so over to turn 1. Turn 1. German turn 1 movement, and Peter is starting with his Stugs. We've actually got quite a nice run in there against my flank. There's some good cover, and there's areas you can get through without having to worry too much about cross checks. Now his main forces all ended up over in this corner, so it's pretty much just a general advance, though he has to bear in mind my reserves could arrive and attack his artillery, so he's going to Take a bit of time to reposition his heavy machine guns so that they can provide a little bit of protection should my reserves arrive there. And his final platoon of infantry are moving up the middle, sticking to houses for bulletproof cover, and that's a real advantage for your infantry in a game of this nature, folks. You can, in most cases, keep them under bulletproof cover so that they are not so vulnerable to artillery. And now the poor old broom bars coming in over the bridge. Peter's decided he's just going to position them as much as possible with front armour towards the 6-pounders and hope to knock them out before they can have any shots coming back at them. The side armour's not good, but the front armour on these things turns out to be very good. So German turn 1 shooting, Peter, so you're starting with?
The Stooks are going to have a shot at the 6-pounders.
6-pounders, okay then, so you need 7s because I'll be going to ground.
Yeah.
Long range, concealed, blah blah blah.
Okay.
No.
No. And then I think the boom bars will go.
Right, so these guys are going to be, are they slow firing, eh?
They are slow firing, they are slow firing, yes.
Right, okay, so short range, now I'll still be concealed, even you've got elevation but I'm dug in. Right, so 6s, 7s because of slow firing.
So there's 2 going this way.
2 going that way. Oh yeah, you're good at getting 7s. See? Now then, you're brutal, so I'll have to re-roll successfuls. So, that's 1 fail. Is it auto firepower, is it?
Auto, yes.
Right, okay, so which one you want to kill?
Let's kill this one.
Right, okay, I don't have too much of a warrior preference. Right, you got one more shooting down the other side?
Here we go, no.
5, no. Right, artillery then.
Artillery, now this could be a problem because we've only got the 1 observer.
Aye, because there's nothing else underneath all the templates, folks.
Yes.
The only one that maybe would have had something was the broom bars, but they had to deploy funny.
I can't see the mortars there. Do you think?
I think
there's a building there. 5 to hit, or
it'll be the 4 normally, so 5 for terrain. We think the mortars can see each other, so
the first attempt.
needing a 5. Try, oh dear. Right, okay, so you got 3 mortars and the H second in command.
So 3 mortars hitting on
4s. Right, and second in command.
No.
Right, so 2 mortars needing 3 ups. They're saved but they're pinned. And of course you're ranged in there now as well.
Right. So the spotter is going to, I think you can see down.
You can see these guys. Can you see?
I think, hopefully, can I see? Where's my wee?
You could see the area of it. You might not be able to see the gun, but you could definitely drop one. Yep, so you can range in there.
I can see. I think you can see the gun. Like there's the.
Right. So
whatever. So there'll be a 5.
5 to range in again.
5 to range in again. So, no.
Right. So 6.
6
needed.
There's only 1.
Yeah.
There's nothing in there, is there?
No.
And there's 6 guns.
Oh, this is a big gun, aye. So re-roll, Missy. Roll 2 dice. No. And if you give me that ranged in marker. Right, so that leaves your...
They can't see anything.
Volks. Your company HQ's on the move, I suppose. There's nothing worth...
He's used his 3 attempts.
And you've nothing under their template anyway. So that's you then for turn 1. So as you can see, folks, he's moving up. There's a couple of commanders in here. We did some follow me's, remembered follow me's after recording the movement. They went in, the other guys didn't. It's likewise a commander over there, follow me, and said, no, we are reluctant, we don't do follow me's. And then, so you see just a mass moving over, quite slow because of terrain. The Stooks are now going to put pressure on anti-tank guns and the pack howitzers. These guys, they managed to get one which was good going, so that will reduce the fire that's going back into them. I'll have to decide how I'm going to deal with them. They're good in the front, they're not so good in the side. And these guys, they were kind of sticking their necks out. If they unpin, they might do some punishment back. So that's it for German turn 1. So the para starting step, we've got an unpinning to do. actually make a fearless. Hey. And then reserves.
Oh, reserve.
Oh dear.
Oh, you maybe get a last man.
Oh, I've got a last man too. So I've got 5 for the reserves. Now these are 2 up last man, so here comes the 1. A 4. Oh, phew. Right, so my reserves, folks. So just to remember, we decided on 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, 6 is my choice. Glider pilot, guys, and I'll roll to see where they come in. A 3, so that's going to be probably the worst place for me. Yep, so the mortars are going to get it, but then it's going to take my guys about a month to go over onto the fight. Okay, so my reserves, my glider pilot guys coming in over there. Para Turn 1 movement is starting with the arrival of my first platoon of reserves. So they've come in over in that corner, and it's a little bit restricted. I want to really get to those heavy mortars, but it's a little bit restricted because of our proximity to the edge of the table and my 2-inch standoff distance. You know, that applies to all infantry and gun teams. So I'm going to have to come around one flank and then assault them from that flank rather than surround them and assault them. And then I'm going to move a couple of Piats around with a successful blitz move so that I can start to get them involved in shooting up the poor Broombars. Para Turn 1 shooting. I'm going to start with the mortars. They can get line of sight through to here, 2 inches into that wood. So, I should have my dice ready, folks. I'll be looking for 4s. Because these guys are veterans, the artillery types. Yeah, well, 6 will do it anyway. So let's just get the template. I think there's 3 guys under that. That's that one, yeah.
Just this one.
So kind of as they lie. 5, 3, 2. Hit and hit.
2 hits. So front one, no. That one.
Right, so one's away, and it's a pin, which might help because you are reluctant. Now then. Pack howitzers are going to try and range in a bombardment on. I believe there's some guys in this house here.
One.
So,
just on the top of it.
Yep. So the second in command's going to range it in. Going for 4s. 4 will do it. So how many's in there?
1. Well, no, it might be 2. Let me. 2. It's 2.
Is it?
No, 1. They might get the one behind.
Yeah, there's. See if I get the.
Yeah, you get this guy.
Okay, well. In the house I roll a 3, and out of the house I roll a 2. So the guy in the house has been hit. So 5. He's okay, but it's another pin, which might help. So this guy, he can turn to face in the shooting phase. Going to have a go up at some broom bars. So you're going to get concealment up on the bridge. So I'll need 5s.
Right.
Because you're careful. I get a 3 and a 1, so nothing there. The other side, they're going to have a go. They get 1 hit. So I want to try and hit the guys on the side, but you are far enough away from a mistaken target.
So I'll certainly make second target.
No. 1. So you're at your side arm is 4.
4. Let's say
4.
4. 5. It's 4.
4, right. So that's going to go straight through. I roll a 1, so you're only bailed out. And I'll make it the one with the fancy looking one with the MG gunner on the back. If you wish, you could try mistaken.
No.
Oh no, you never got mistaken targets on him.
I missed it, yeah.
Right. So just a bail though. Over here, there's not really any need for me to do any shooting against the mortars because I'm just going to be going in for an assault there.
And you might kill them.
Yeah, and that's terrible. Imagine killing something. So we'll come back for the assault. So there, folks, that's me moved into assault. I was kind of restricted for how I could actually bring my platoon on there because of how close these guys were to the edge. So I've not been able to assault everybody. So it's going to be, 1, 2, 3, 5 on him. I'll just roll because I've only got 3 dice, right? So he's gone. And then this guy, that'll do it. He's away. So you now have to motivate to counter-attack.
And it's just 5.
No, which means you're going to break off, which you want to break off anyway.
So I've got a 4-inch tactical.
Yep, so 4-inch tactical so that you're no closer than 6 inches. So we'll do the break off and the consolidation of camera. So there you go, folks. That's the end of turn 1 for the British. I was lucky I got reserves on straight away. They came in the worst place for me to get an impact on the game. But as you can see, by the way, consolidation, the Germans are pulled back. I'm kind of want to come across here, but at the same time try and deal with them next turn. We were checking to see if they were gun teams or infantry teams. If they were infantry like a mortar, they would be on a last stand, but they're guns, so they're okay. So I've got to try and deal with them. So I've got infantry moving across here. Pete's in that building. There are pins on 2 units, 2 reluctant units. I'm hoping that'll have an effect. But these broom powers are still stuck. I suppose it's a great unit to have in that position. If the flanks aren't hit, they can dish out a lot of pain with their auto firepower against dug-in things, you know. And I'll be re-rolling successful saves. So it's kind of like a flamethrower. So that's me, folks. I've got 1 platoon still in ambush, ready to deploy depending on where a threat might be. And we forgot the Piats. Peter, we'll have to do the Piats. No. The Piats, sorry folks. We're saying everything on the bridge you can see, so it's going to be a 5 to hit you. I don't count it's moving because I passed my blitz. So too close for mistaken target, I'll go for that one and that one. So the one nearest to me, I roll a 4, you're alright. Another one, I roll a 3. Oh, it's always the same.
Yes, well, just have forgotten.
I know, but it's always the same when you get your Piats in that anti-range, and it's like getting around the side of a King Tiger, you never do anything. So there you go, folks. Over to the Germans for their turn 2. Turn 2. Motivations.
I don't know whether... this platoon here, the HQ's over there, so he's out with 6 of the...
Did you try to follow me with him last time?
No.
Oh, just...
Because
you would have rolled dice to see if the second in command would have moved up with him. In fact, you can roll 2 dice. 4, no, roll. 4. No. Okay, so you've got your HQ up there, right? That was just the oversight.
So it's a 5.
Yep, first platoon.
No.
No. And then the other ones are okay, but then they guys by themselves, they probably will get a 5.
No.
So that's quite good for me.
The heavy mortars.
Mortars, yeah. 6, so they're on pin, so they can at least do a barrage before they go out. It might probably pin me, but that's not such a good start step for you because you need to keep moving forward. Yeah. So it allows the game to develop a bit. So over to movement. Sorry, I forgot one more motivation. So they guys be
4.
We're confident they've got protected ammo or anything?
No, it's just a 4, counter-attack 5, and
yeah, okay.
3, so... No,
it doesn't get back in. German turn 2 movement, and the infantry are continuing to push in towards that church. Both of them fail follow me's despite the presence of the company commander. And then the heavy machine guns are going to continue to reposition to try and cover that corner as much as possible against my reserves. The Stoogs are going to continue to close in on my rather open flank there. Now for the broom bars, and Peter's decided he's just going to try and get himself off that bridge. Just keep moving forward and potentially assault his way through the mortar platoon.
Germans turn to shooting. First I'll try and range in with these 2 mortars on... maybe 4 inches away, so I get 5.
As long as the edge of the template's 4 inches away.
So I got 4 to range in, first attempt.
There we go. I'll do it. So how many guys are under there?
5.
5, right. On you go.
Are they all the same? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Force. Yeah. So it's 3 hits. Now I've got to just roll. It was kind of. We'll just say the middle 3. Right, middle 3. Right. So 1, 2, 3. A 1, 1, and a 4. But these are the pilot guys with their funny shenanigans. I don't actually know what the rule is. I'm going to roll a dice and then check the rules. So first 2 guys, a 4, and then a 4. I don't think a 4 and a 4 does anything, but we'll double check. But I think they're probably dead, they're definitely pinned. Yes, as I thought, folks, you need to get a 5 up for any failed save. And if you pass that save, then you're okay and it doesn't go to firepower or whatever. Those guys are in the open anyway. So, 2 dead. Oh, wait a minute, you've only got 2 guns.
Oh,
Right then. I'm alive.
Put it back.
Yeah, sorry for all the confusion, folks, but that's the way it works around here. Next, Peter, what do you want to do?
Next, now I think right, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and range in.
Right, okay, so you're going to use these guys to try and kill more of my paras over there. Okay.
Yes, so I'll range in.
Yeah, so same sort of spot.
It's 5 guys.
Yeah, it'll be a 4.
First attempt. Second attempt. Third attempt. Third attempt.
Right, so you'll need 6s, but you'll be re-rolling misses, so that's quite handy. So it's 5 guys, so just roll 5 dice and we should work it out. So that's 2 hits plus 3 rolls. 3 hits. So 3 saves. We'll just do the middle 3 guys again. What the hell, guys? 1, 2, 3. So the last guy failed, but this is where I actually know what I'm supposed to be rolling. I need a 5 to keep him alive. A 2 will not do. So last guy's dead, and they are now pinned, which you never know, that might do it for you.
But you're fearless, you know.
Yeah, but anybody can roll a 2. Right, so your other artillery's repositioning. Right, okay. And if I don't unpin, it's going to be hard for me to move anywhere either, because I can't move towards the enemy and you're all around me. Right, so...
Well, they moved.
Yeah.
So they moved, so you can't...
And I don't think I've got any direct fire targets anyway.
So maybe it's the...
Stugs and Broombars.
Yes, the Stugs. We'll go for the pack... No, not the packing on the packs, but we'll go for the 6 pounders.
6 pounders, okay, so I have to check the range here. Okay, there is 1 Stug in short range of these, others at long, so 1 on a 5 and 2 on a 6.
This is a 5. 1, 2, 6.
Right, so a 6 is a save.
Okay.
And then your Broombars, they're going to shoot up the...
Yes. So will be 6s then.
Yeah.
6s.
Well, 5 to hit the mortars. The mortars are not going to ground.
Right. So
6 dice.
yes.
Oh, you're using the main gun. Sorry.
Main guns.
Right. 6s in. There's very little chance of getting me with MGs. If you hit me with your main guns, there's a very good chance of killing you.
But
6 dice looking for 5. Then be rolling above a 3 up, and then you roll a 6. Whereas here,
I use the main guns.
Yeah, if you hit here, you'll do a bit of damage. No, nothing there. Right.
And that will be me, I think.
Are you going to try an assault with them?
Sorry, let me just check the range.
You've got
you in
2 Piats.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're going to hit.
You're going to be concealed from them because I'll be shooting over the smoke-filled bridge.
They'll be hitting in 5s.
Yep.
Do the skirts make?
That means you'll be side armour 5
against
10. But
right, let's go in for
if you don't do it, I'm going to shoot you anyway.
Let's go for the song.
Right, so I'll do my 2 dice of defensive fire.
Yes.
I get 1 hit.
1 hit. So 5.
Yep.
I get. So let's get.
Roll big. 5 is just a potential bail, so you might be okay.
So that's 5 up.
Yep. And if I don't get a 5 up, you're fine. I got a 2. So you can go in and clobber me now. So who do you want to contact here? You've got my HQ, sending command, or mortars.
The HQ.
Right. So 1 on the HQ.
1 on the mortar.
1 on the mortar.
So
Right.
They are assaulting 4.
4 up, so it's not too bad.
So the HQ one.
He's a goner.
No.
No. Okay, so I've got to motivate to counter attack. I got a 3. I'm fearless, so I'm okay. Now, I've currently got 2 bases in contact with you. Those 2 are in contact.
So which mortar went?
You killed him.
Oh, him, right.
Right. So because those two are in contact, I've got two in contact with you because they're infantry teams. He cannot move into contact because he's a heavy weapon. So I think they're probably going to need at least a 4, but we'll roll and see and check it. A 5 and a 3. 3 ain't going to do it. A 5 will do it. So,
do you want to check that?
Well,
because I feel that they're not sort of veterans. They're not quite.
I bet they're mortars. They're heavy weapons.
Right. So
just be the one hit.
So
5, you're fine. So now you've got to motivate.
Uh-huh.
And what's your
I think it's a
counter attack?
5.
5 plus.
Oh no.
Right. So now then, you are going to. Oh, this is awkward. What happens to him? He's going to get killed.
He's
from the platoon.
But he's
Within 4 of him. No, he's not, because that's not. That's impassable terrain. It works both ways. The tank can't go into a house. He can't go over like Superman. Right. So
can I go down the?
Yep, but you need to do a cross check.
Right. So this one.
First one.
Oh, no.
Second one. 4 up. So he'll go to there.
So yes, 4 passes.
And you'll get caught, and then you can move him 10.
So he gets caught. He'll get caught.
Well, at the bottom of the slope is a tricky bit. Go on.
So he stopped.
He stops there.
Right, and he
then
can move. So he'll just move.
He can get up to no closer than 6 inches.
So he needs to be out there.
Yeah. But it does mean he gets captured though.
Because he's not without.
He's not outside 6 inches because he stopped in. There wasn't any other way
to go.
Because you've got to break off away
So do you
from
want
them.
we'll take him away or we'll leave him there?
There's a wreck. He's a wreck. Turn somebody there for turn 2. The broom bars were in a hard place, I'm afraid. They could have stayed put, but they would have been shot at by 6-pounders, Peets and everything. At least they killed the second in command on the way out. Elsewhere, there's still some movement forward here, and the guns are moving into position over there. Here, the heavy machine guns are watching for reserves coming on, and those guys are pinned. They might not unpin, and the Stoogs are still moving, and I've got to watch the flanks of my pack howitzers. I don't think the pack howitzers can continue shooting over to this side of the table. So my turn 2 starting step, motivations first of all, before we consider ambushes or so on. I've got they don't have to unpin, they want to hit.
Right.
The guys over on the far side though, the supermen, and they're not so super. They get a 2.
2, is that not good enough?
No, I ain't going to do it. So they're not going to be moving, probably not going to be moving anywhere. Right, and then I've got just an unpin, a last stand to do on this guy. Believe it or not,
2's enough.
a 2 does it. That's why those are more expensive. So that's it for motivation. I'll now give a thought to ambushes before reserves. I'm holding off on ambushes, folks. I'm worried about them. And I thought, pop an ambush here, but I've still got time to do that. And that will maybe let me know what's going to happen, potentially with reserves and also with this lump of infantry that's coming up. If there was just one platoon over here and then one over there, it might put them under pressure. So straight to reserves. Of course, another one coming. So it's going to be an infantry platoon. So I roll a 1, which means they're coming in
that corner
here. So that's a good flank attack. Para turn 2 movement. Not a lot happening here, folks, just repositioning of guns to a certain degree. I forgot to show the arrival of the reserve para platoon, but you'll get that at the end of the turn. Right, turn 2 for the Brits. So start with the 6-pounder, shooting up. There's concealment, shooting up at him, short range, went for 5. 1 hit. Now you could be like that for front armour, which is 8.
8.
Oh no, it's more than that now, isn't it? He was 8 in the opening round, they're 10. Oh my goodness.
Well, you sure want to take me around?
No, you could have done that with your movement. 5, dink, bounces off. So this guy's going to optimistically have a go at your front as well then. You'll be going to ground as well, but a 6 will do it. 3 is going to be a save. And then 2 Piets having a go at you in the flanks. You're going to ground again because of the smoke. Bloody Nora.
So,
2 6s.
It's 5.
5 because of your size cuts.
So the one come from the side doesn't matter. 5.
That's an 8 and then 6. So you save 1. Another 6 Volks. So they're definitely going to be in the last stand. Then these mortars are going to range in on the church.
There's probably enough smoke there, isn't there?
Yeah. So we'll need a 4 because they've got a 3 up status and they get it a 4. So let's check who's in there.
4 guys from the brown platoon.
Right, okay, folks. So we've got enough for these guys in the church and 1 at the back. So there's a grey platoon, you said?
Yes, 1 grey in the church.
6 of these hit.
And 1 at the back.
He is going to be hit too.
Yeah.
Right, and then
There's 4.
4 inside from the other platoon. That's 1 miss. Right, 2 of them are hit.
Okay, so
Right.
this guy, the one in the church.
He's fine.
1 outside the church.
Fine.
And then
And 2 inside.
2 inside the church.
1 potential. Oh, 1 doesn't do it, but there's
Both pins.
2 pins there, folks, which is just as good, really. My infantry over here, they didn't move. They're pinned, they can still do some shooting. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dice. I'll just get those dice. Hold on.
They've got some machine guns, haven't they?
No.
No, they
Aye, because I thought they did have, but they don't.
didn't use in the old days.
Yeah.
In the old days.
Because I thought, what a brilliant platoon running around with submachine guns. But so 1 dice each, looking for
They're just
3s.
4s. 3s, sorry, 3s, yes.
Because they're
Yes,
gun
yeah,
teams.
they're gun teams. 3.
If they were ordinary mortars, it'd be 4s because they didn't move.
No,
But
I'm sure it's
it'll be on the card anyway.
so how many? Let's see. Where's the card? Hit the 3.
Right, okay. Sorry, 5 hits.
5
So
hits.
I want to put 3 on the furthest, 2 on the closest.
I'll try and swap that. Oh no, can I? Yes, I can.
Yes.
Try and swap.
No, you don't know 1.
So 3 in the back one.
He's gone.
And then 2 in the front one. He's gone.
He's gone. So I think that's going to be it for shooting then, folks. So at the end of my turn 2, I've still got these Stooks to worry about, but I've got a platoon in ambush. Forgot to show the reserves, by the way, folks. They moved into here. They came on here, remember. I could have started moving up, but then it could go bad. So I'm going to protect my flank and move up through cover. Still got 1 broom bar to worry about. Stooks are still an issue, but I do have a platoon that I can now confidently ambush over here. Those guys aren't going anywhere yet, and if they don't unpin, they're not going to play any real part in the game. I was hoping that those Piets could come over, but that's not going to happen. But I can't complain at all, folks. It's been a completely different game so far for what Peter's experience was as a defender, because he didn't get his reserves on, and it didn't. I wasn't pinned on the way in, or at least if I was, I unpinned and got straight into assaults. So anyway, over to Peter for his turn 3. Turn 3.
The grey platoon will try and unpin with the re-roll. Yep.
Right, yep.
And
Because I got the HQ there.
And the brown platoon. Yes.
Yep, so they're moving, right, which is why I was worried about popping an ambush over there until I knew where my other reserve platoon is going to be. So they're moving forward. You've also got an unpinning on these guys.
Here. Yep, let's try that. Oh,
Nope.
I'm going to be pinned all day, I think.
And a last stand on your broom bar.
Last stand. What did I say it was? 4. Before I roll, I'll just check. Oh, it's a 3 for a last stand.
German.
Well, so, oh no.
It's always the same. Fearless, etc., folks.
So you'll bug off.
And I think that's it for motivation. German turn 3 movement. Well, the Stugs are going to stay put and shoot, and the infantry that are able to are going to keep advancing, so they're going to move into and beyond that church there to close in on the near objective, and there's a potential pincer happening there if he can get the infantry in the centre of the town to move up that road in subsequent turns too. It could be quite a powerful movement.
So German turn 3 shooting. I'm going to try a repeat bombardment with my
6-gun battery.
guns over here. There's 4 people under the template.
And they didn't dig in, folks, remember.
So hitting 4s. And I can re-roll.
That's right, aye. 2 hits so far, folks. Reroll misses, so 1 each. So they're going to have to reroll successfuls. Right, okay, so the first guy is okay. Next guy is 1 fail. I'm just going to do his 5 up thing. No, right, so he's gone because I've not dug in.
This guy.
Oh. Nope. Do his 5 up thing for his bulletproof. Hey.
He's all right,
and then the last guy, he's
fine.
okay.
Right.
So that
Just 1.
wasn't too bad.
So that's the right guy.
Right, so your next artillery battery, or
Yes, I shall, using this guy, I'll try and range in.
HQ is going to get here. You can probably get in a couple of inches into there to get most, if not everybody.
It's a 5.
5 up because it's trained with terrain.
First attempt.
Oh.
Oof, first attempt.
Right, so go and get the template and we'll just double check, but I think you can get the lot. And this might stop these guys from intervening. Let me see. Yeah, you get everybody there.
Right. Yeah.
So, just roll 7 ordinary guys.
Did I get it? What was that? First attempt or so?
I think it was it?
Yes.
God, it's amazing how long or short memory is.
It was only 2 seconds ago.
I think it was, yeah. We'll double check. Right, anyway.
So it's 7.
7 guys looking for 4s. Right, so that's a lot. That's 5. Right, and then you've got 2 Piats.
No.
Nope, and then you've got 1 light mortar. Right, okay, so the light mortar saving 5 guys. Light mortar is okay, and then I don't quite have enough dice here, folks. It's 2 gone so far. 2 gone then. And they're pinned. So that might stop them getting over for the rest of the fight. Right, so your infantry.
Infantry, I don't think they've.
What are they armed with?
Oh, they've got an assault rifle.
Right, so assault rifle 8-inch range, but they can also do the 2
heavy machine guns.
and you've got 1 guy close enough to this tall terrain to be able to target them.
We'll try him. Yeah.
So with 2 dice on the move, looking for 5s. No. Right.
And I don't think you can see anything else. The
Stugs. You're going for my 6-pounders.
We'll go for 6 pounders.
Okay, so one of them's at short range, so 2 dice on 5s. That's 1, and then 4 dice on 6s. 3. Right, okay, so do you want to get...
2 in the front and the one closest.
Right, okay, so he is 1 fail, so see if you get him. 3 up needed, he's a goner, and then the other one saves. So the anti-tank guns are down to 1 each platoon. Any other shooting?
No, I think that's everything. Yes. That'll be me.
Are you guys in that house, aren't they?
No, they moved.
Oh, they moved away from the...
They moved back here.
Either pinned. Okay. So Peter, turn 3. You're getting some movement. How do you think it's going so far?
It's not so good, but at least I'm managing to move up. You've still got your ambush to come out, so I'm a bit scared of that. Maybe try and force it to come out by moving closer.
And you're getting close to an objective.
Yes.
And you've still got those Stugs over there, and they're going to be hard for me to deal with.
I need to get rid of your anti-tank guns first before they can progress much further.
Right, but I mean, this is still the main thrust, but you're also having to keep your heavy machine guns back because you're worried about horrible jeeps and things.
Oh, yes.
So para turn 3 starting step, we've got unpinning to do here. A 1. Unpinning to do all the way over in the corner.
Another one would be nice.
A 5. So they're at least going to be moving. And then I've got a last stand to do on 6-pounder. So the one nearest to me is a 4, and the other one, which is more important, is a 2, which still does it. But I should point out that he can shoot me, but I can't shoot him because all my guns are in the way. So it's kind of sort of, what do I do? So I think that's it for motivation. So I've got to consider ambushes before I roll for reserves. So folks, I am going to do my ambush, and they're going to be between these houses here. That side of the table, I've got cover now for the Stooks. My infantry here could move into this house, and one's in it already. The Stooks have to shoot them out. They cannot assault them out, which means I can have a platoon here. And if they unpin these guys, plus my wild card over there, who we'll see where they end up. So I've got 3 dice for reserves. I've still got my jeeps and my heavy machine guns. So only one's coming in. So I'm going to make it heavy machine guns, simply because I think the jeeps will be able to get somewhere quicker than the heavy machine guns will. So I roll a 6, which means I can bring them on anywhere. So I can, well, when I say anywhere, at any of the corners. So I'll come back and I shall cover off that and deployment of the ambush during the movement. Para turn 3 movement, so I've got more reserves and an ambush to deploy. So there you can see me putting the ambush down in those 2 buildings which are facing up to the main German axis of attack. The heavy machine guns, I'm going to place them in that house here at the end of the street so that they can start shooting up the German artillery. That could be very useful in keeping them pinned and out of the game. The platoon under the bridge, getting all red hot chili peppers, they are repositioning to defend the objective over on my left now that I've got the ambush platoon deployed on the objective on the right. And the glider pilot platoon, I've got a long trek over the table here now to get into the game. I've got the Piats already ahead of them. They're going to keep heading towards those Stoogs because that's where they're going to be needed the most. So para turn 3 shooting. These guys didn't follow me, so nothing happening. They're going to go to ground. He's going to go to ground. So's he, because he's not really got any targets. This infantry platoon I moved over here have not really got any targets. The mortar platoons can see 2 inches beyond this tree line here, so they're going to try and range in there looking for a 4. 1, 1, 2. So they have not ranged in. The guys that ambushed are going to stay on the ground. And the guys are pinned. I'll try and dig them in. Sorry, I forgot about digging them in. Which leaves my heavy machine guns that have arrived. So they're going to try and shoot up these guys here. Right, okay, so we're looking for 4. So they'll have 2 dice each. I'll roll this twice. There's 3. 5. Now, I reckon I can only see
those. You see him?
Yeah, like from upstairs.
So, and then
I'll double up on. Yeah, that'll do fine. Right. So
this guy.
Fine. Oh, is it though?
I think 3's okay.
Aye, they've got like sort of light gun kind of 3 up saves.
Check. 3 up.
Aye, right.
And then this one is okay, and then this one possible.
6 needed. A 1 ain't going to do it. But a pin down, and that looks like it's going to be it for me for shooting. So the heavy machine guns are in a nuisance position, but remember there's infantry all around them as well, so they might be in trouble. These guys here are in a spot of bother. I really do need them in the game. As you can see, I've popped 1 platoon here in ambush, moved the other one over to protect that objective. These guys are coming in. So if I can keep my guys unpinned alive and moving forward, they can get involved in the fight that's coming over here, I reckon. Turn 4.
Okay, German turn 4.
Right, starting step. So what have you got?
Lots of unpinning to do. So that's all.
They're okay actually, they never, which is really good for you.
These guns here,
right.
I'm sure it'll be a 5 up.
Yeah.
No. So they stay pinned. This in particular needs to unpin. No. And that.
I think that's it.
That's it. Not good though.
Right, so over to movement. German turn for movement. Peter started by repositioning his Volks infantry guns to shoot up my heavy machine guns, and then he's going to move his Stugs around to start an assault on my very exposed pack howitzers. And his main force of infantry are continuing to move over and get into a position to start challenging for the objectives, particularly the one on the right. And I should point out, you can see that the first lot of infantry have moved inside this high-rise building, which will become quite a focus for the rest of the game.
German turn 4 shooting. Right. With the large artillery platoon, I'm going to try and range in on this.
Yeah, because these guys failed to dig in, remember guys.
So I've got 5 to range in for them. 5. No. No.
Right,
so
okay.
hitting in 6s.
5 ordinary guys. Right, and then reroll your misses.
No. No, okay.
Right, and then 2 Piets.
2 Piets. And then reroll them.
Nope.
Nope.
And then 1 light mortar geyser. Nope. So 1 save to make?
Yeah, 1 save to make.
Well, killed 1, so they're getting whittled down.
No, but not fast enough.
No, there's still 1, 2, 3, only 4 full bases left there, so they're getting it. Right, next up.
These are he
Right.
doesn't move.
Yeah,
well,
he could turn to face.
He's pinned anyway.
I suppose, it doesn't matter. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 dice
Hitting
shooting at my
4, 5.
5s. Oh, lots of 4s.
Lots of 4s. Oh, good. Let's see what I've got here. I've got 1.
And these are the sort of the rifle guys, eh?
Yes, but I think maybe not. Can they use they got a machine gun option? But they're pinned anyway.
I
So
checked
rifle
here.
platoon.
2. Rate of fire.
Option. So I didn't bring the.
Yeah, you never paid for them. So it's just going to be 2 dice?
One dice because they're pinned.
Right, okay, there's only 1 guy can see.
Yeah, well, I think he was only 1 guy.
Right. Anyone in there?
Yeah, it depends whether there's only a door there.
I don't know, get a shot, so
So I get
2 dice?
3, there's 2 in there.
Right.
And 3 altogether.
Right, okie doke.
Depending on. Not
Spectacular. They've had a spectacular game all round.
okay.
Your observer,
Let's move on.
if you're not using it because you used your
Yes, okay.
second in command to.
No, he's got 3 machine guns, I think.
Yep, so he can do some shooting. No.
No.
Right. These guys, have they got.
So
What about heavy machine guns in here?
they're there. I don't know. Maybe
No, that one there, the one on the top I would say could shoot. The one on the bottom's blocked by the base of the chimney. So 6 dice looking for 4s, 5s even.
5s.
Oh, he's showing them how to do it.
So 3 hits.
1 potential. No. It's not pinned him yet either.
So I've moved up here.
Right.
What have I got? I've got 1,
Check the range to those mortars.
2, 3. Oh, 2, 3. 3.
If you're 20 inches, you can get them with your assault
Yes,
rifles. Right, okay, you look for 5s then. So did you say 3 of them?
Yeah.
So 9 dice.
Yeah, 6. They didn't do anything this time, did they?
No, they tried.
Did they?
And
Right.
they tried and failed. So 3 hits.
3 hits and then.
Anyone else?
No, 3. Yeah, well, that was only 2. So
Right.
3 hits.
Right, okay.
Was it 2 hits?
3.
3.
1 potential kill.
4. No.
Right, okay. Next.
Oh well, what here?
Oh, there's more.
Maybe 2.
Right, so another 6.
2.
These are all assault rifles, folks. Right, another 2, so they're pinned. And chance to get 1. No.
No. Oh dear.
But they're at least pinned.
I think that's over here.
Yeah, so, folks. See if I can get the dice trade down somewhere it'll actually balance. Right,
think they'll use their main guns. No, let's machine guns. Probably machine guns.
So that'll be, how many dice have they got on the move? Stooks?
I think I'll just check that. Two.
So 6 dice then, looking for 6s. I don't think I fired, did I?
No.
I'm just sitting waiting on you.
No.
One. I roll a 4, that'll do it for a save.
So is that everything? I think that's everything.
Everything for shooting, so are you want to go in for this assault?
Yes, so two of them in.
2 are going in, so that you're not within 8 inches of my...
Yeah, I think this should be alright.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Now, these guys cannot shoot over each other the way they're echeloned. I kind of knew that was coming, but I couldn't do much about it. But there's a Piet in here. He'll be able to counterfire. And a Piet. So, not pinned, looking for force. So the howitzer manages 2 hits. They're only anti-tank 6 though. And the Piet manages a miss. So, 2 saves, side armour 3. 2 saves, right, so you can clobber him twice.
Yeah, so they're not very good. 4.
4's not, that's fine. 4 should do it. Yep, so he's dead. Now, I've got to motivate in the first instance, so see what happens. And I fail it, so I'm going to move. So I need to check my tactical move, folks. I'll be back for break off. So they're broken off, folks, with the result being that these 2 had enough tactical, or 4-inch tactical, to move so they're no closer than 6 inches. He can't though. He's not going to get away. So he is a goner. And then Peter can consolidate. Peter's consolidated over here to get as many tanks as possible behind the line of sight of the gun. 1 isn't. Oh no, in fact, as long as you park behind it.
Is it? I'm not sure of that.
Yeah, as long as part of it is behind the front of a forward firing weapon. So they're actually going to be okay because some of his is going to be slightly behind that. So I'm going to have to move to shoot if I'm still there.
Of course.
Because I might run away.
You don't want to roll one.
So there you go. So PR, turn 4 under your belt. How's it feel?
No, it's still not good. Still not feeling optimistic.
You've got the objective under pressure now.
Yeah, but you've got too much there. I think if I could keep them pinned, that'd be great. But I can't seem to do that. And as long as these guys are chasing after this way, I think that's okay. So I've really got to do something in here.
Yeah, and remember as well, folks, when you're watching this, I have also got to get rid of Peter's guys. He's within 8 inches of his objective. I can't just sit there. I've got to come after him too. So there's a lot of fighting left in this before there's an outcome, I think. So para, turn 4 starting step, quite a lot of motivations to do. First of all, do they unpin? They do. Do the mortars unpin? They don't. And they're not close enough to get a...
Is there someone on the
He's
there?
not on line of sight because he's hiding the wee cupboard. Right, the pack howitzers. They unpin. Last stands the near 6-pounder and the far. So they're staying. I have to see what they can be shooting at this turn because there are at least some tanks. Oh, and then last reserve is going to come automatically. It's going to be the Jeep. So where do they arrive? That corner. Yeah. So, well, I suppose I've got to do something about those. But as I was just saying to Peter, they could arrive and go, yeah, beauty, we've came to the right place. And then these guys are surrounded by heavy machine guns. They're dug in, you know, so it's like a 6 firepower to kill them. So it looks great, but it might end up in them just getting blown to bits.
Was it 3?
It's a lot of dice. So I can at least maybe keep them out of the game for a bit. Para turn 4 movement. So my reserve units are in the opposite corners from each other, so to speak, on the left and the right. They're going to keep continuing to move towards the centre. And my pack howitzers, they are going to get themselves out of the way. They're not going to do anything there against those Stoogs, whatever happens. So I want to bring them into protection of the infantry platoons and keep them in the game. I want them to be dropping artillery onto these reluctant Volks Grenadiers that are in bulletproof cover, but I can still stop them if I can keep them pinned. The para jeeps have arrived into a complete hornet's nest, which, as I'm saying in the game, looks great. You know, you can shoot up all the artillery, but they're going to be taking so much fire and probably not going to last very long. But I do have the opportunity to pin the artillery, and I suppose in the long run that is going to be quite useful. So turn 4, parachuting. I think I'm going to start with anti-tank guns. So I've got one at long range, which can only shoot the very front stug. So I'll need 5, 2 dice looking for 5s.
The far away one?
Yeah. A 5 and a 4. So 1 hit on the very front stug. Your armour will go up to 8.
So was it 7 did I say?
Yeah.
7 goes up to 8.
No, these stugs, everything's bouncing off them. The other one at short range is only going to get 1 dice. It's a 6 though.
Still hits.
And I'm going to go for the one at the back.
On the back. Do I want to swap? Well, no, let's just look at the one back.
Right. God, they're making their saves 4 in a row. They're not for going out lightly. Now artillery, I'm pinned or I'm moving, so there's no artillery. I think it's going to come down to what's happening over here, folks. So we've got the jeeps arriving, but you know what? I need to check the rate of fire because I've never actually used them. So it's 3, so I'm kind of constricted for what I can get in, so I'm just splitting them in 2. Some going that way, some going that way. Now, he is not in bulletproof cover, but the rest of them are.
Yes,
right? So I am going to need, so he'll be in the open to me.
Just the 3s.
Yeah. So that's going to be 9.
9.
So I can't see him. So 3 saves on each.
So we'll go for him first.
Right. He's a goner.
2, he's a goner.
Yeah, because he's not dug in here to move to get line of sight.
And then 3 and him.
Right.
2, 3, 2.
6. Oh my goodness. Para jeeps. I don't want to be SAS.
And then
Last guy. You're fine. And then the other 4 are going to go for your 10.5s, looking for 4s.
Yes, because they dug in.
Yep.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. So 1, 2,
Can't see
3,
him.
4, 5. Which
I want to put 2 on 2. 2 on 2. 2 on 2. Oh, what the hell? Him.
Him.
Yep. And him.
Do I want to change that? Oh, I'm happy with that.
Basically, I'm trying to kill things that, if they die, are not going to give you more shots back next turn.
Yeah, so this guy.
So first guy. Oh, but 6 is needed. Nope.
Okay, is this guy? Nope. This guy.
Fine.
This guy. Oh.
Fine.
This guy.
This guy, fine. So the pin though. So
Pin, yep.
I've got to hope they don't unpin. Now my heavy machine guns are going to do here and here. I'm going to split the fire, right? Whoops. So it's going to be this lot. That's what it is here. So the guy in front of the building is going to be hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And then the guy in the courtyard is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And those splits are going by targeting and line of sight and things like that, folks. So
this one with 6.
Right. 2 possibles. No.
And then 8.
Yeah.
The other guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh my goodness.
Look at that.
8 saves, folks. Well, they're pinned. So that's them done. And like I said, though, they're kind of just sitting there and wondering what the hell's going to happen next turn with everything shooting back at them. So they fired. These guys are not going to only shoot at. They're staying on the ground. The other infantry are going to ground. The other infantry are still running up Piets to the front. So that's it, folks. So in that turn, my last reserves have arrived. It looks great, but they could all die next turn if they don't make their saves. And I've got to concentrate on getting rid of those Stoogs. And then dealing with these 2 platoons of infantry. In fact, there's another platoon of infantry, folks. So there's a lot of infantry still on the table. Turn 5.
Turn 5 for the Germans, right?
So what have you
Motivation.
got?
Let's see that this platoon is pinned. Let's see what help if they could unpin. Wee 5. Oh, a wee 1's not what to do it. This
Yep.
the infantry gun platoon.
Nope.
Nope. The infantry in this building.
Oh yeah, see if they come back in. Oh,
they
they've
have.
seen jeeps if they want, they smell blood. And I think that's it for motivations.
Motivations. Yes.
German turn 5 movement, and the infantry are continuing to push forward. The high rise is getting filled up quite nicely with lots and lots of infantry, and it's within 8 inches of that objective, remember. Other infantry are moving up across the front there of the ramp, and the infantry that have been pinned down for so long in the centre of the town, they're also able to keep moving forward now. So there's 3 platoons of infantry now moving in towards my main defence area. And the heavy machine guns and the infantry guns are going to continue to reposition so that they can get as many shots as possible into those parajeeps. They need to free themselves up so they can start bombarding my infantry. Turn 5.
Turn 5 is shooting. So first of all, the pinned artillery group, 2 are going to shoot at the jeeps. Hitting at 4s. At 4s. 5s are
they slow firing?
They might be slow firing.
Because I don't know, because they don't normally move.
They don't normally shoot.
Right, there you go. Slow firing, yeah.
Slow firing.
So it'll be 5s then. 2 on 5s, but you are brutal if you do hit me.
2 5s. No. Okay. These 2, they are pinned. They got 1 shot each. So that'll be just a 4s. I don't think they're slow firing.
They're not slow firing, no.
That's it. So,
Right. 5 will do it. Let's see. Right.
Okay, I've got 3 heavy machine guns
Yep.
in there.
They've had to move position. So 6 dice.
6 dice.
Looking for 4s.
Oh, only 3.
Right. I don't know what the save is on these. 1 second. 4 up needed, so 2 dead jeeps. Close enough for no mistaken target. You choose your jeeps.
Yeah, these 2.
Right, okay, so they'll be gone. Next up.
Next up, I don't. They all moved. Do I think they could fire anything? Oh, up on the
Right, you're going to clobber the
floor. So I've got.
mortars again.
Yeah, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 5, 6. 6 in total.
Yep.
So they can all fire as
Yeah,
assault.
3 dice each. It's a high-rise assault platoon. So at the paramortars again, looking for 6s this time though because
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I was going to ground.
So this is the bottom lot.
Oh, do it floor by floor. That's 1.
1.
Yep.
Middle floor. Ooh,
Oh, middle floor's good. That's 4.
4. And then the top floor.
Expecting big things from the top floor. 6 then, so it's 2 each.
2 each.
Right. First guy,
Fine.
second guy, third guy.
Right, okay. They're the same, so check for range though.
8 inches high. Oh, maybe check these ones.
Yes, so there's 1, 2,
Right.
3, 3. I'll see this 3. Maybe, well, maybe
that'll be 4 because you can be different windows. Right.
So,
Shooting the mortars again.
so it's 4, so that's 2 of them. 1,
1.
and then 2.
A 1 and a 3. So first one is okay. Still alive. I could do with these mortars to survive so I can wear down your guys if you cannot move forward.
Okay, and then it'll be the...
Right, okay, we're going over to the Stooks.
So we've got 5 shots.
So the Stugs are going to try and kill him. 2 stayed put, 1's moved, looking for 5s. Because I'm still concealed, we've been dug in.
Oh,
1 might be enough. No, a 3. Don't forget you got a lucky card, by the way.
Oh well, maybe I'll try this as time for lucky. Oh no, I can't reroll.
You can't even reroll mine. That's a super duper lucky. The lucky ducker card. But you could have used it with your cross check and everything.
Oh yeah. Hey.
Who the hell ever remembers about lucky cards?
Right, so I think, is that all my shooting?
I think that platoon's fired, they fired heavy machine guns.
Oh no, this.
Aye, your observer shooting at.
Can I get the jeeps? Can you shoot? No.
So you're going to go for my heavy machine guns again?
Yes. So did you fire?
Yeah, so in for 5s.
No.
Another dramatic intervention from that. Is that it?
I'm going to try a shoot and scoot with.
Right. Okay. The Stugs that didn't move.
So that's a skill check, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
So let me just,
Should be 3 up for veteran.
3 up. Yes. I might use the lucky here. Oh no.
Right.
So 2 of them just
Right. Okay.
turn to face.
Right, because you'll be able to get. You want them like that.
Oh, that's sort of like that.
You have enough to do it because you don't want them putting an assault in on the side, and also you show your front armour to those 2. Peter's are likely to arrive. So that's you, Peter.
Yes,
So
that's me finished.
not a great turn, but you've got lots of guys moving up now, and I've still got to get rid of them. And I've got 2 artillery units left, so that might be handy in whittling you down. But I don't think my mortars are going to last much longer, one way or another. Para, turn 5 starting steps. So got unpinnings to do, got the mortars. Oh, they don't. And then it's just last stands. So first gun, the one nearest to me. Whew. And they've got one on the other side of the bridge. Whew. So they're staying. They've got a couple of shots at Stugs. So we'll go over to movement. Para turn 5 movement. So the glider pilot platoon, they're going to keep coming forward. Deal with these Stugs. Protect that flank. Now on the bridge I'm going to pull the mortars back because they're within assault distance now with no real defensive fire able to support them. So I'm going to pull them back to keep them safe and in the game, and then I'm going to move a flanking platoon up into the church, bulletproof cover and in a position to assault the high rise from the side. Para jeeps are going to reposition themselves a little bit to get out of line of sight of heavy machine guns where possible and put as much fire down on any one particular artillery unit. So para turn 5 shooting. I'm going to start by doing a barrage onto here. So I'll need a 4 to range in.
Wait.
Get a 4. So there's two bases in there. Both of them are hit.
Where are we? Here.
Yep.
Well, there's
Only 2 in there. Yeah. So 2 3-up saves.
You've got 2 guns, right?
Oh, sorry, I've got 2 guns. 1 3-up save.
One.
The one hit's more important.
Oh, no.
No, it's fine. But the pin, that's kind of what I'm after. Right. There's a Peter in range there. So, these guys went into the church. So, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ordinary bases you can shoot. And I'm going for your second in command. That'll be 3 hits, because it'll be a 3-up. Oh, he's saying, what was that? How dare you? I'll teach you. You probably gave me a lesson. Right, so, why the... Are you even? I don't think you're in range of him anymore. Because the one that was in range pulled back. Right, so there's just one. Oh, in fact, I'll start with 2 2 Piats have moved over by the wall. So we're looking for 5s because slow.
Okay.
Yep. Slow everything. Right, it's always the same. You get the Piats in position and they miss. Well, they did kill a Brimbar. I've got one other Piat in the house, the greenhouse with the blue roof. It's going to have a go. It hits because...
It didn't move.
Yeah, but your front armour is 7 against 10. That'll do it. They keep rolling 6s for the saves. They're quite indestructible.
£6. You can have a shot.
Oh, a £6, but I've got to check the rest of that platoon. 1 second. Right, let me see. So, I might as well stay on the ground, to be honest, in there, because they're not going to do much over there. So a £6. 1 hit, and I want to go for furthest away one. What the hell?
I'll take it in the front guy if I can.
Yeah.
If I can.
Okay. No. So
back.
back guy, 7 against 11.
Is that, so they're all short range, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a goner. So I've actually killed a Stoop, folks. So as far as the rest of the shooting goes, these guys. Right, so there's a full platoon going to open up there, so that's going to be 14. I'll roll this twice into the high rise from hell, and that's going to be, well, there's 6 hits so far. So it's going to be 10.
10 hits. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that right? 6 in there. Yes.
2, 4.
6 in there. Yes. So
Right.
ones that. They're all.
So 4 of them will take
all the same.
2.
So.
Just, they're all in the same place, so they're all the same. So roll 4 pairs.
4 pairs. So 1. Oh, possible.
It's okay. Second pair. Oh. Third pair. I would keep those dice.
Oh no, that's not.
It's okay. Fourth pair. It's okay. And then single. Or 2 singles, sorry.
1. No. 2.
It's okay. But pinned. Try to stop you coming forward. Right.
What I'll do is I'll just take that.
Oh, and then the death ride off the jeeps. I'm going to start with the heavy machine guns.
Yeah.
Right, going for your guns again. So it'll be
Threes.
here and here. 1 against that one. Downstairs against that. Upstairs against that. So downstairs gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, and then that guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So 6 on this guy.
Right. 2 possibles. It's okay.
And then 7 or 8. Was it 7?
7. Just to 1.
Possible. Is that the one that gets it? Oh no.
No, he's fine. So my jeeps now. My jeeps. 3 of them are going to fire up into the heavy machine guns.
Okay.
So that's 1. 2. Excuse me. Looking for 4.
4, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what I wanted.
5,
So there's 3 in there, so 2 doubled.
So.
Oh, killed one.
One
My
dead.
goodness. It's fine, and then a single.
Yes.
What am I doing? It's fine. That was a 6-2. And the other ones are going for your guns.
Okay.
Right, so these lot here.
Oh, you need that.
On this table, you said, what do bloody do? 1, 2, 3. Only 3 hits on your guns.
Yes, and yes. Any particular guns you want?
The 1, 2, 3. What the
So
hell?
this one.
Nope.
No, this one.
Yep.
This one.
Yep.
This one.
Nope. You're fine. Still alive. So they're still kind of sitting there in front of all this nastiness. God, I don't think all that shooting, all that machine gun fire. But it's 5 power 6, you know, so it's not going to do a lot. But I killed the heavy machine gun and pinned them. That might help. Right, so the question is over here, do I assault? And I think the answer has to be yes. Right.
And the Stugs.
Yeah. I'll go in and you'll only be able to get counter fire from him because of forward firing.
Well, no, yes, because he died. Well,
Oh, he's dead. He's dead.
That was dead. Stick some smoke on him and
I'll borrow some smoke. Alright, in fact then...
You're going to hide there? You're going to say you're hiding?
Yeah. I could even conga line you. Like that, and it'll be okay. So, I'll clobber you twice. Look for 4s though, because these are P8s. 2 hits. So, your side arm will be 5 with your shoes in.
So...
Anti-tank 10, nearly. 4's a bail, so he's bailed out, you have to motivate to counter.
It's a 5, no, it's a 5 up.
Right, okay. And you do. So he can,
yeah, get in there.
he can move in and clobber me.
Yes.
It's fine. And then I counter attack. I don't hit you, so you can motivate.
Can't motivate? I've lost card. Where
5 up.
5 up.
This is what I'm hoping on.
No.
So he's got to back off, so he's not within 6, and then I'll capture.
Yeah.
Capture him, so you just stick a bit of smoke on. Right, and then I can consolidate 4, so I'm going to go back to join that platoon.
Okay.
So, that's all actually worked out okay. And it was a lot to do with me being able to kill him, I think.
Yes.
Because that meant no defensive fire. So, there we go folks, I managed to do a lot of pinning for stuff that's moving forward. I had to pull them back because they were vulnerable to assault if these guys came in. I've got to try and keep my artillery in the game. If you can't move, I can weigh you down and then move in. My para-jeeps all the way over there are still alive, but we'll see how long they last. And the heavy machine guns have been a nuisance, but they're not making the firepowers to get rid of these dug-in artillery pieces over there. So, over to turn 6, which is now critical. These guys will be within 8. So this is where me getting rid of them is maybe the next step. Right folks, I didn't press record it seems for the start step of German turn 6. So
Failed to unpin here, unpinned the heavy machine guns, failed to unpin these guys, and managed to unpin that platoon. Didn't unpin this platoon.
And the Stug.
And the Stug ran away, last man
Right,
standing.
there you go. German turn 6 movement. So there's not a lot of movement happening here, folks. It's just everything concentrating around the objectives. He's not yet strong or confident enough to break over the open ground towards the objectives, but he's piling them up into the high rise and the buildings around it. And at the very least, he knows I've got to get him out of there if I'm going to win the game. But he's still got the option of getting his artillery back in the game and then attacking out of the strong position.
Turn 6 shooting. First I'm going to shoot these 2 guns at the jeeps.
Right.
Hitting on 4s?
5 with you still pinned.
Oh, still pinned, right. No, that's not going to do it. There's 2 HMGs in there.
Right, okay.
I should have... Oh, sorry.
Do you want to move him in?
Yeah, I should have moved him
Aye,
in. Yeah.
stick him in wherever there's space. Right, so,
Sorry.
2 dice from him.
2 dice from him. 1
Right, and then 12 for the others, isn't it?
Yes, that's not enough dice. That's one of them.
Well, 3, so I've got 4 so far.
And then...
Oh well, so that's 9 altogether. Now, there's a couple you can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So someone's got to take 3.
Yes, there was one here that could shoot, but I didn't really do them separately. Can you remember how many he got?
Okay, that's fine. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So someone's taking 1. So who do you want to take 1?
Him.
He's okay.
He's okay.
And everyone else on 2.
So at that point.
How many was it? It was a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, another single 1 on 1. Sorry. Great arithmetic.
Go for him.
He's okay.
Yep, he's okay.
And Pierce. He's gone. Who's that one?
Good saves.
Yeah, but there's only 4 of them left.
They'll maybe shoot as well,
Right.
so it's 2 shots.
2 shots, 4s.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That one's saved. Pinned.
Yes.
Shoot up heavy machine guns.
Shoot up the machine guns with one hit.
Saved.
Saved. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, you've moved away. Do I? They shot at the end, didn't they? Was it?
Yeah.
Do they want to
I don't know if you've got the range. Check it out. I mean, for your...
I get two shots. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's
just
out.
out.
Is it?
But you've got 4 dice off
I
light
just
machine
wonder
gun.
whether do I want to
Go to ground.
go to ground. I think I'll go to ground.
Right.
No, I'll go to ground.
Okay, these guys here don't have a lot of targets either.
No.
Oh no, you can be shooting my... if you've got 16-inch range, you can be shooting my pack. Howitzers.
So yeah, let's. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can get 4 dice. 4
the
dice.
Pin, the pin.
Yep.
4 dice.
Because they've got the MG
so
option.
Did they dig in or they?
No.
So it's just a.
You're looking for 4s.
1. Oh, he's fine.
Whew.
And that's me.
That's it. So the Jeeps are still alive, but they're, like I said, they'll arrive there and just get shot to bits because the firepower is only 6.
They'll be pinned, but it doesn't make any difference, does it? Do they?
It doesn't make a difference as far as the rate of fire goes, but in terms of movement, I was hoping to kill these guys at some point and then release them, but it's not happened. So PR, you're there, but you've not got a lot of bite. But I've got to get you out though, which is what I'll be trying next turn. Paraton 6 starting step, got unpin my mortars on the bridge, and they do. Unpin my para jeeps, and they do. Last stand on the nearest gun is fine, the furthest one is fine. And I think that's it for motivations. Para turn 6 movement. So not a lot from me here. I'm going to be bringing my glider pilot platoon over to support the left hand side of the table, and then the other side I'm going to stay put waiting on my mortars to get into the game to be pinning and dropping smoke so that I can launch hopefully a powerful assault that will force Peter back from the objective. Now that it's turn 6, there's an opportunity for me to win the game. So para turn 6 shooting. I might as well start with this way, guys. Got 1 shot because I had to move up into the high rise. Rolls a 2. Right, and then over here, what have we got again? We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 9 dice into the high rise. 1, 2, 3. 3 hits on the high rise.
Well, they went to ground.
Oh, sorry, did they not shoot?
So
Was that any
5.
hits? Was that any hits at all then?
5 was a hit, so.
So 1.
Yeah.
So 1 save. Right,
Just
that's fine.
put me.
This slot then, so this will be 14. So let's say 3, 3. I'll roll this twice, and that's this platoon having a go at them now. Right, so that's 2,
4.
4. 4 saves on them.
Oh, 1 day.
Oh my goodness, that's ridiculous. So it's 2 at the high rise, and then the mortars are going to try and range in. Kind of between the high rise and here, right? So that they are quite a lot of guys under there, if I can range in, before they do it.
Yep.
So,
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I don't know where you hit. Maybe
yeah, let's see.
some guys over there.
I think you're probably enough to get
2 in there.
anybody except maybe the back. So 1,
2
2 in there.
So there's 4 under there.
Right, so the high rise gets 2 hits, and house at the back gets 1 hit.
So 2 hits in here.
Yep,
1
he's a goner,
and 1.
and 1 in the house with the green roof is okay. Right, and then on the other side of the table, these guys that are moving over, there's about 3, 4 bases that got a line of sight with 1 dice each on the corner house. So that's going to be 1 hit on them. 6 is fine. And then this house, has it got anybody meaningful? No, they'll just stay going to ground. The artillery pack howitzers, so 2 under there.
Both hits?
Not yet.
Oh, 1 hit.
Both are still hit. So re-rolling successful saves.
So the first one, was it 2 hits?
Yeah.
He's fine. And the second one?
He's fine. My jeeps. Don't forget about my poor wee jeeps are bouncing around all over here. So they are going to go for these guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6.
3 each.
This one. Possible.
Nope.
And then this one. 2 possibles.
Oh, ultimate dice, but nope. Right, then my heavy machine guns are going to do the same. 1 to that lot and 1 to... So Hammy's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. So 3. Oh, you get more. That's everything.
And then the other guy... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
6. So he's dead.
No,
because they didn't. Remember, they didn't.
he had to be dug and he couldn't move because he was pinned out.
Oh, right.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4.
4.
Pathetic.
And then 7.
5.
5.
Yeah.
So he didn't. He's not dug in. No.
Oh, right, aye. Oh, he should be dead.
He should be dead anyway. So.
I saved them all. Because I was in firepower on him last turn.
Right.
Anyway, I can't quite remember, but he made all his bloody saves. He's been doing ridiculous saves. I think that's going to be about it for... Oh no, I fired them, sorry. That's going to be it. I just can't kill them to release the jeeps. I thought I would have killed them a while ago. Not going to be any assaulting or any such thing. So what have you got left in here? You've got...
I've got 1, 2, 3.
3 guys. And is that all that's left of that platoon?
No, there's what is that, grey? So there's, oh, maybe it is.
Are they grey? Aye.
Yeah, so they're all.
So that platoon's getting whittled. Getting whittled down.
Well whittled.
And it's turn 6, which is getting critical. Turn 7.
So motivations. So this.
Right, unpinning in the high rise.
They've got a
reroll.
So.
No. A reroll's good when you roll once.
These guys.
Right, further up the street.
Now, they're pinned, but their HQ's in there.
But is he within 6 inches of them?
No.
So?
No, so you can't.
Uh-huh.
Right, okay, so that's them. These wee guys.
Oh, they're coming back with a vengeance. Pure parajeeps.
And then...
No.
And
I think that's it.
Yes.
So on to movement. German turn 7 movement. Now Peter, he's got his guys roughly where they need to be. He's going to be doing a little bit of movement, but not very much. He still needs support from his artillery to be confident, to be able to drop smoke and pin my guys and kill my guys and so on and so on. So he's just really trying to strengthen his position in front of the objectives this turn.
2 shots hitting 5s.
Right, so starting with turn 7 shooting, these guys still try to get revenge on those jeeps. No. These guys though, probably going to get revenge because they ain't pinned anymore. 2.
2 hits.
5 and a 3, so one's away.
Right,
Right, and then your machine guns, you've got, it's going to be 1 stationary and 2 have moved to get line of sight.
Right. So the stationary one.
Right. So that's 3.
And then 2 moved.
Yep.
4, 5.
5. Right, so first pair's okay, second pair's dead, third single's dead, so there's 1 left. Poor wee jeeps.
That will be it.
So you're going to ground with anyone that hasn't moved in
Well,
yet?
he moved in.
Uh-huh,
So
but the rest of the guys...
Yes.
didn't. So there's a wee bit of reinforcement in there, but that's where I need to concentrate next turn, I think. Para turn 7, motivation, so...
So when do you have to... no, right, forget it. No. So you would have got to get me out the 8 inches.
Yes. From now.
To win.
From turn 6, basically. So, I don't think... Is there any pins, guys? I don't think so. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a pin Jeep. Does not pin. Does he run away? He runs away. Quite right, too. Last stand on my wee 6-pounder on this side of the bridge. And on the other side of the bridge. The other side of the bridge has run away. But I think that's it for motivation. Para turn 7 movement. So I'm moving up the glider pilot, guys, again. I want to put an assault in against some exposed German infantry on the left there. But the main movement is going to be on the right, where I'm going to bring out 2 platoons and put an assault in against the high-rise. This potentially could win the game if I can force the Germans to pull back. And remember, they're reluctant. They've got the HQ there, but they're reluctant. They need to roll a 5 to counter-attack. Para turn 7 movement. Oh, sorry, 1 second. He's come out of hiding.
You almost forgot about him.
Out he comes. He's saying, right lads, you've been doing great. I believe there's an opportunity to end the game in glorious style, so I shall come and join in. So, shooting, I'm going to start off by doing smoke. So I was ranged in between these houses and I'm going to put it like that. So the smoke through all these defending. We'll work out. Yeah, because to be honest, that meant so much terrain, but it's 6, so it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'll put one there and then...
Yeah. Yeah, it'll stretch through, so there's going to be concealment, basically. That's what I'm after. So my poor wee Jeeps have finally bit the dust after doing nothing. I don't know if they actually did anything. They maybe killed a Jeep and a heavy machine. I mean, maybe a gun and a heavy machine gun, but that's just a maybe. So we'll do the other artillery barrage onto these 2 here. 2 hits, but then the rerolls were unsuccessful. Now, these guys from that platoon are going to shoot, so there's going to be 4 dice. They're stationary. They went to go on the ground, eh?
They didn't shoot, yes.
Yep, so no hits there. And then, got to remember this platoon as well. Folks, what we got? Not very much, I'll leave them. The other guys are not going to shoot. I just want them to charge into contact. There's not going to be much shooting. These guys here will have a go. So you're high rise, so I can spread the hits up the way. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a light mortar. And then 2 Piats. No, they suddenly can't hit you. And then these lot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One hit in here. Now, if you got any HQ types in there?
There's my HQ or my boss.
I'll try and hit the boss, so you can. You're probably too close for mistaken target, so
right, okay.
You might not be, but roll anyway. Mistaken target, no. So then roll your save. You're fine. Right. I think that's about it for shooting. So it's going to be assaulting. So
right. So how with the high-rise building? How does that work?
Well, the way I'd imagine, I can only contact the bases in the first floor first.
So there's two in the first floor.
So I'll run in and get 2 in the first floor, and I'm going to come in
and see what happens
that way.
Right.
So I'll be 4 bases going in against your 2. You'll be able to defensive fire with these guys.
And these are too far away.
Yeah, they'll be more than 8 away.
How about these guys here?
Well, my assault's coming in this way.
What is it? These guys or is it these guys?
These guys here.
Did they shoot? I thought
They shot as well.
Oh, did they both shoot?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
They just did terrible.
So what is it?
So you've got a total of 2, 4, 6 dice looking for 5s.
And you counted the smoke in there, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, for goodness sake, 2, 5. This is just taking ages in. Right then, so I lose 2 bases and that ends the assault. Right, so I'll go in with the other guys and it'll be the same thing because I can only put 4 in. so I'm not coming around the outside to bring the other guys in. So put 4 in again.
I will be able to do that again.
Wait and see. One. Right, so I've got a save to make, and I make it. So pairs, right?
So
first guy is gone. Next guy's gone. So that floor's cleared out. There might be other ways of doing this, folks, but this is just how we're doing it.
I'll take them out then.
Yep. And then you can motivate to counter attack.
And I can re-roll that. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
What am I got?
So 2 guys hit me back.
2 guys. Oh, well, I might. Could I?
Oh, of course. Right.
How many of these I've got?
I would say, yeah. So we're saying there's another couple of guys can join this fight here, folks, because we were fighting upstairs. So we'll have one at the bottom of the stair. He can clobber 2 guys into those. So you got 2 guys from above.
2 guys, and have you got 2 guys coming up?
I've got 4 guys in total. So
2 guys upstairs.
Kill 2, and 2 guys downstairs. Kill 2. I'm on deed. So that ends the assault. I've lost 4 guys. So they'll probably end up just staying where they are.
Have you not got any within 4 inches that could...
I could only put 4 guys in because it was restricted. So that's not ended. I thought that was going to end the game. You're supposed to just run away. Well, you can now murder me in the open.
Well,
Still, I could have sat there and I was not going to win the game if I just sat there, folks, or I would have maybe midnight. So, great opportunity for Peter next turn, depending on motivations, for him to really get these paraplatoons. But I forgot, over here, I'm going to go in. So you're going to get 2 bases.
No, they're not pinned, these guys. Fine.
What are they though?
They are rifles.
So it'll be 4 dice.
Unless I don't think they get any.
No, they're just...
I did bring, for the rifles, I did bring the HMG, but it's...
Oh, it's over there. Right, so 4 dice off defensive filing for 4s. Oh man, stop hitting me, Peter. 1's dead, right? So I'm going to do 1 against 1 and 2 against another. So 1 against 1, 2 against another. So they're all gone, and I lose 1, 2. And then I'm going to consolidate, but I'm not going to consolidate into the building where I can be shot. I'm going to consolidate behind the building so you can only assault into it. And these guys can move up too. As part of the platoon, they can consolidate. And these guys are going to move over to here. So there you go. That I was hoping was going to be my big moment. He came running out saying, "Come on, guys, this is it." And then, where's everybody gone? If you can see that, folks, it says turn 8.
Oh, well, we'll go over here. No, right. Let's start with the artillery.
Right, see if this is motivations and everything, guys. So the artillery doesn't unpin. They guys have unpinned.
This.
Right, so you got the single surviving guy.
Single surviving guy. See, he gets a reroll.
He does, yeah. Last stand, that won't do it. You need a 4 for them. So he goes away. And then the infantry platoon that's now in the building with the reroll.
Hang on. Now they are pinned, yes.
Just think from previous turn. And they're fine. Right, they guys?
Well, that I don't know, but they're out of command, so they need to go. Yes,
Oh, that was the same platoon, sorry. Right, either.
Same platoon, but they were.
You're fine, you would have been. You do the 1 roll for everybody. They end up pinned regardless, so.
They must be pinned.
That's right, they took hits in assault.
Sorry. So there's a good place for them.
No. Right, the worm has turned, folks. The worm has turned. Not much happening for movement in German turn 8. Peter's just working out what he's got in range and line of sight to shoot up my poor surviving paras who are stuck out in the open there. Turn 8, German shooting. What are you going to do?
What am I going to do? Right, let's. I'll shoot here first.
Right, okay. Now I forgot about the heavy machine guns last time, so they got on the ground. So, 4 dice?
No, they turn, so...
oh, right, okay.
So it's only 2 dice. So it'll be a 6. Oh, well.
6 will do it. Hold on a minute, I need...
Okay,
6.
saves it. Okay, well, the easy shot is
Right.
3 shots.
Half track moving up, looking for 3s. 4, sorry. Right. Now then, I've got a HQ and a platoon of 2. So how do you want to do this?
So if I go to the HQ, do you...
I can choose to attach on.
Yes, let's go to the HQ.
Right, okay, so I'll attach on. So it's going to be... Now I'm going to try mistaken target. Oh, that ends that then. Right, I was going to try and put it in the bulletproof cover, guys. HQ,
Fine,
next guy, next guy. So they're saved. So far.
So what have I got in here? So I've got...
Well, he's got an assault rifle, they've got assault rifles.
So, about 3 smoke.
The guys are the easiest to hit out of all these, but I can... Oh, in fact, Mitch got a tape. See if the buildings are within 8 inches.
I don't think they are. Well, no, because they're only 8 inches.
Aye, that means you don't have to worry about me mistaking targeting if you use your assault rifles.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. So 4s.
4s. 5, sorry.
5s.
Because of smoke.
4s, 5, yes. Sorry, I'm thinking you're mine.
One's away.
They can't see through that. I've got 2 then.
Those 2, yeah, they can have a go.
2 without machine gun. How many shots do we get? Yeah.
They're MG team, so it'll be 3 each.
Well, no, it's they're classed as it's they shoot as so it'll be 3 halted 3.
Yeah.
Limited 2, so 6 shots.
6 shots looking for 4s. Take it you're going to go for HQ again.
Oh, look at that.
I'm going to try mistaken target it, and then make my save.
That might be it.
Oh, but you got a heavy machine gun way back in that building.
Back here.
Uh-huh.
Well, how many was what's the range then?
24, so you got the range.
Yeah.
Or 24 or 20, but you got the range.
Right.
6 dice on 5s. No, we'll do it. So 1 each. So, commander, other guy's dead. I'm going to swap him out in a minute.
Well, that will be the end.
Right, okay, no more shooting. So, like I said, the guys are hanging there now, so they got absolutely spanked. Which leaves me a wee nub of a platoon here, a wee nub of a platoon there, making it very difficult to kick these out, because I now need to try and pin them, which isn't going to be easy.
They might try shooting scoot, is that?
Yeah.
Because that would get more into the...
Yep. And they do it.
Right.
So, there are going to be some more guys moving into that building. So, para turn 8, so this platoon here, there is enough still alive. They don't have to make a last stand, but they're pinned. They don't unpin the commander. Company commander unpins them. Okay. Last stand from a wee anti-tank gun. Oh, he's had enough. He's going to leg it, and that's going to be it for motivations, because it's not very much.
Was that one as well, or was that the one you did?
Were they pinned?
Yes, because
They got pushed back, sorry.
Yes.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Is he within 6 of?
No, he's all the way over here.
Right.
They're going to pull back anyway. I'm going back to that house so I can just mortar there. So over to movement. Para turn 8 movement. Well, my survivors are getting the hell out of Dodge. I have to come back now to defend the objective. There's just too much defensive fire that I'm very now scared of in those buildings in that high rise. The other infantry are going to reposition a little to try and spread themselves between the 2 objectives to defend them both, whilst there's going to be a flank attack coming in on the left from the paraglider pilot platoon to try and hold that side back too. Right folks, so my shooting, what's it going to be? Let's start over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're going to shoot this lot.
Guys, just 4 then, 4's needed.
1, 2, 3, and then the Piat.
This as well.
No, because he's slow moving. So 3 saves on that platoon.
Oh, 2.
Ah, you're fine. Right, and then 2 from that platoon that are in range. Going for their 1 hit.
Oh, wait, what was that?
Now then, I would be wanting to target your HQ, so you can try mistaking
Let's
target off, and you don't, so he's dead. But do your warrior save now. 3 up warrior save. No. Now, is your second in command around?
Yes.
So he'll take over.
He's in there as well.
Right. Now the other one is going to have 3 shots. 2 hits. Same again, targeting your HQ, so try.
Try and swap it.
And you do, so 2. Whoops, you're fine.
So that, how many hits is that altogether?
It's not many.
3.
There's not going to be much in the way of direct fire coming in, so there's, let me see, there's 1, 2, 3 plus HQ, 4, 5. Right, so this is the mortars, right?
Right. So they're range in.
So 1 in the greenhouse, and then the front house.
4.
So 3 are hit plus the HQ is hit. So 3 saves and here with rerolls. Oh, don't bother with the rerolls. And then your HQ.
He's all right.
He's got a reroll.
Oh, well, of course. Yes.
He's fine. 2.
2 dead.
2 dead. Now I've got another. Oh, I've got my HMG platoon. Right. You have machine gun fire out there, didn't it? So, let me see. So my HMGs are going to shoot that platoon.
Okay.
Or not. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 12. Right, so 1 on the HMG and then other on the guys after
I'll try
that.
and swap it from the HMG.
Yep.
Yeah, so
4.
4.
4, I think. 4. 2 possibles. Oh, another one. Just do one for the other platoon. Right, okay.
That's 4. Oh, no,
And then I'm going to try and range in with my 2-gun battery on the back end of that lot, because otherwise I'd be danger close here.
yeah.
So I roll 2, a 5. Right, so 1 second. Place it so it's not within 4 inches. Coming pretty straight up, but not within 4 inches.
Probably, it's coming that way, so I think maybe just do those 3.
Right. 2 of them I hit because that was the second time around, but I've got to reroll. No, you're fine. Nothing there. Right, but ranged in. And that's going to be it for me because I don't really have anything else left. 2 wee rumps off platoon. These guys, some more guys are moving over from there, and those guys are in position there to get that flank. Still going to come down to what's happening here. So let's go and have a look. Folks, we're calling it a draw. You can probably tell from the length of this video that it's quite a lot of game time. We've been playing for over 4 hours, and you know, even in any kind of competitive game or friendly game, 4 hours is a decent enough time for one side to get a win over the other. So a draw is a fair result. Before we go over to the recap, my thoughts, well, first of all, I have to say, even though I've been a bit critical of them in the comments, the Parajeeps probably did really, really well. When you consider they couldn't assault, they weren't able to do any assaulting because they're unarmoured tank teams, they still managed to keep the artillery, the German artillery, out of the game from the point by which they arrived. And if those artillery had been clobbering down on my platoons, they would definitely have whittled them down, possibly kept them pinned, and then also putting down smoke so that Peter could have closed in for an assault. And as far as assaults go, well, that assault of mine into the high rise of doom, I thought that was a surefire winner, folks. But there you go. You can set things up, plan things out, but if the dice are not on your side, it's not going to happen. But in the end, I think it was probably still a great, fair result for the game and what we both actually managed to do during the game. Obviously there was the £2 issue. The £2 both should have run away, which maybe would have kept the Stooks in the game. I would have still gone after them with Piets and such likes, maybe would have taken some out. I don't think they would have changed the outcome very much, because they would have had to battle through infantry and they can't assault into buildings and so on. But it's important to read all of your unit stats, folks. That's a lesson for me that I never seem to learn every time I use a new formation. But anyway, let's go over to a recap with myself and Peter. Right, folks, we've decided we're going to call it a draw. It's on to turn 9 and they're still playing the game and it's getting on. So we're going to call it a draw. I couldn't get them out of there, and it all came down to that a really, really good, and you still never used your lucky, a really, really good turn of assaulting and defensive fire from Peter. Otherwise, that would have been the winning moment for me. And I now really don't have the strength to run out there, so I would have to rely on the mortars, maybe destroying them. But by that time, Peter might well have unpinned them and then start whittling these down, meaning I don't really have the strength to keep pushing forward. Peter could possibly move more guys over. It could go either way. We're going to call it a draw. It was a nice, proper, hard-fought game. Unlike the last one we had where Peter's reserves just never turned up. I got my reserves on straight away and started, let me think, reserves on here to protect this objective, reserves on there to protect that objective, and my poor wee pair of jeeps. I thought, well, that's great, brilliant. And I went, oh no, it's not. All those heavy machine guns, and they can't assault, so they're great for run around if you can control the circumstances under which you deploy them. And the heavy machine guns, of course, didn't do anything. Everything was in bulletproof cover around them, so they just did a few maybe important pins. Maybe that.
Yes.
And Peter, how about yourself? How did it feel?
It was just frustrating. I think I'm using my reluctant infantry to assault is not the easiest thing. They kept getting pinned.
It's hard to get them in, yeah.
When you're rolling a 5 to unpin, it's very difficult.
That's the thing about these. Something I thought when I saw it, it goes really cheap, but if they get pinned.
So the infantry survived quite well, but
it's a game where you can survive as infantry because there's so much bulletproof cover,
but taking the objectives was
and getting pinned. You still get pinned. You maybe survive, but you get pinned, and it's hard to get in. But that was a good game. It was lots of stuff going on. The broom bars coming in over the bridge.
Yes, that was a shame. I would like them to come somewhere else. They were to blow up the buildings.
They were going to roll up and say, right, we'll blast them out of this one, and then blast them out of that one. But there you go. There was good luck and bad luck on both sides, I think, in that game. Especially here, that was brilliant when you went in with 4 hits and 4 kills. I'm like, wait a minute, all my guys are dead. And the last lot got pushed back with all those hits, even with smoke.
Yes.
But there you go. So I enjoyed it. It was a great battle. Great to use the Arnhem table again. I don't know how soon it will be out again, folks. But we got it in there for you. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed it too. And thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing as always, and if you'd like to help out the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell button, and we'll definitely see you all on the next one.
Cheers.